Hi guys, happy Thursday. I wanted to go over day 8 of your packet and the virtual learning. So let's jump right in. We have a math task, not too much today. We have a lesson and then we have our fluency and then we're going to go over some reading and your virtual learning. Okay, so day 8 math task says Malcolm's family has 3 cats, 2 dogs, 2 rabbits, and 4 hamsters. Malcolm spends an equal amount of time each day playing with each animal. If he spends 55 minutes altogether, how much time did he spend with each animal? So first we need to figure out how many how many animals does he have altogether? So I know, let me make this a little bit bigger so we can see this better. I know he has 3 cats, plus 2 dogs, plus 2 rabbits, and 4 hamsters. Okay? So if we add this, let's put 3 in our head. We're going to add 2, 4, 5. Add 2, 6, 7. And add 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I know he has 11 animals. Okay? And I know he's going to spend 55 minutes. And he wants to break that time up among 8 animals. So remember, when we're breaking something up, it's getting smaller. So we are going to divide. Because remember, if it were getting bigger and we wanted to see how much time how much total time he could spend, we would probably multiply. But since we're doing this, we're going to do 55 divided by 11 equals. So remember, yesterday we went over 11s and doubles. So we need to think what times 11 would get us 55. And remember, when we have 11s, it's super easy because all we do to get this answer is double a single number. So really our answer is 5. Oops, I'm sorry. 5, because if we think about it, 5 times 11 equals 55. You could have also done 11 groups and then gotten rid of one, but 11s are easy. Just remember they're easy because the answer is already in it, right? If it was 11 times 5, all we have to do is double this, and that's how we get our answer. So, how much time did he spend with each animal? He spent 5 minutes with each animal, assuming that he spent an equal amount of time. Which he did. Now we won't get into that. So, okay guys, so I hope that helped. Remember, all we're working on today is dividing by 11 here. So then in our activity, it says divide by 11s and 12s. So yesterday we multiplied by 11s and 12s. Today we're going to divide, which means our answers are getting smaller and we're going to break apart. So we can use models. Remember, we can use repeated subtraction. We can use number lines. We can use groups. It says find 48 divided by 12. Show 48 ones using 12 models. So what they did was they had 48 blocks and they put them in rows of 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what they did was they did 12, and once they got to 12, they went down again, and let's count 12 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And they were like, okay, we got 12. Let's keep going until we're all out of 12s. And then they thought, well, how many could we put in each row? So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. So there were 4 groups, so 48 divided by 12 equals 4. It's almost like we did an array with 4 times 12, and it would equal 48. So we had 48 total blocks, and all we did was put them in rows of 12, right? And we wanted to see, okay, how many rows of 12 could we make? And they could make 4 rows of 12. So that means our missing number was 4. So again, they did the same thing here. What they did was they had 36 blocks divided by 12. So again, they're going to put them in rows of 12, and all we have to do is see how many rows can we make. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 1 row. Here's 2 rows, and here's 3 rows. So our answer for this would be 3, because all we're doing is counting our rows. Okay? All right, now we are going to get in, and these, remember, 11s are super simple. We want to take advantage of those ones being simple because they really already have the answer written in there for you. They're just kind of trying to trick you. Okay, so let's look at this first one. So 66 divided by 11. Remember, our answer is already here because in order to multiply, we double it. So 66 divided by 11, I know is just going to be 6. So you're just taking one of those. So 22 divided by 11 equals, you're right, just one of those 2's. 88 divided by 11, remember, it's double here, but we only need 1 for the answer, so it's 8. We have 11 divided by 11. Anything divided by itself we know is always 1. That's like saying you had 11 students, and they each had 1 baseball in their hand. How many did they have? Or, I'm sorry, there were 11 students. We had 11 baseballs, so how many would each student get? It would be 1, right? So then we have 77 divided by 11. And remember, it's just double, so we're going to get rid of that. And we know it's just, I hope you said 7, okay? So what I would do is I would go through and do all the 11s first, just because those are going to be a little bit simpler to solve. So that's what I like to do, just to get rid of all the easy ones first. So let's go through. So we have 99 divided by 11. Remember, it's already doubled, so we're just going to take 1 of those. Again, 44 divided by 11. We know we're just going to take 1 of those, and the answer would be 4. 66 divided by 11. Remember, it's the doubles. We just want to take 1 of those. This one is the only hard one. Remember when we were doing 11s in class, we said we're good up until 11 times 11, right? Or 11 times 10. So this one's tricky because it's 110 divided by 11. So we need to think, what times 11 would equal 110? And remember, we have that 0 on the end. So we know all we had to do was multiply it by 10, okay? For your 12s, what I would do is I would either use related facts, which what I like to do is I like to get, and I'm going to do this with you so you guys can see it. I like to get my cursor and I like to just make my facts, and I know I can go in order. That way I can find the pattern. So I know 0 times 12 equals 0, and then the next one is obviously 1 times 12, and I know 0 plus 12, because I'm going to keep adding 12 each time. If I put 0 in my head and add 12, I get 12, right? Then I'm going to multiply 2 times 12. And I know I'm going to add 12 to this 12 I already have. So 12 plus 12, put 12 in my head. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Then I'm going to go to 3 times 12. And I'm going to add 24 plus 12, so 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Then I'm going to add 12 more to 36 so I can get my number here. So 36 in my head, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 40, 48. Then I'm going to multiply by 5. So I'm going to put 48 in my head and I'm going to add 12. 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Then I'm going to do 6 times 12, and I'm going to put 60 in my head and add 12. So 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72. So I'm going to keep doing this pattern, and you guys can do it quickly with me. And it looks like that's the highest we have to go. So again, I just do this so that it helps me. It's almost like a multiplication chart or just knowing your facts, because remember, these are fact families, so they will work in inverse. So then when I come here, I could do 60 divided by 12. Okay, so really I'm asking myself, what times 12 equals 60? So I'm going to come over here and look for 60. Oh, I have a 60, check. I have a 12, check. I am missing a 5. So my answer is going to be 5. Okay, did you guys see how I did that? So I'm going to come over here to 24 divided by 12. And I'm going to find, okay, what times 12 equals 24? So I'm going to come over to the answers. I'm going to say, where's 24? Oh, ding, ding, ding. Do I have a 24? Check. Do I have a 12? Check. What's the only number from this equation that's missing? That would be 2. Okay, let's try 96 divided by 12. So remember, I'm asking myself, what times 12 would equal 96? So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to look for 96. Ding, ding, ding. I found it. Do I have a 96? Check. Do I have a 12? Check. What's the only number I'm missing? That would be 8. Okay, guys, and I want to do these two with you, and then I'm going to have you guys do the rest on your own. So what I'm asking myself is what times 12 equals 120? So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to look for my answer that says 120. Ding, 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 I found it. Do I have 120? Yes. Do I have 12? Yes. What's the only number I'm missing? 10. So my answer, 10. And remember, on these ones, they go on top of the house. Then my last one we're going to do together, what times 12 equals 108? So I'm going to come over to my list and I'm going to look for my answer for 108. Ding, ding, ding. Do I have 108? Check. Do I have a 12? Check. What's the only number I'm missing? 9. Okay, guys, so I really want you guys to try the rest on your own. If you need help, let me know. You can use a multiplication chart. You can do groups. I would just use my math facts, and this is a really good tool you guys can do when you're multiplying by any numbers, okay? Okay, and the last one we're going to do is 48 divided by 12. So using any strategy, what I want to do is I am going to use repeated subtraction. So I'm going to start with 48, I'm going to subtract 12, and in my head, if I take that away, 48 minus 12, I know is going to be 36. And remember, when you're doing repeated subtraction, your goal is to get to 0. So it's not 0, so I'm going to take that 36 I just got, and I'm going to subtract another 12. And I know when I do that in my head, 36 minus 12, I know is 24. Is that 0? No, so I'm going to bring my 24 that I just got down. I'm going to subtract 12, and when I do that in my head, 24 minus 12, I get 12. Now that's not 0 yet, so I'm going to bring that 12 down. I'm going to subtract another 12, and I get, ding, 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 I finally got 0. So I'm going to count how many times did I have to subtract. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I know 48 divided by 12 equals 4. Okay. Okay, guys, then we're going to come over to models or visuals. And as you can see, I had 48 X's and I made 12 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I had 48 X's to get rid of. So what I did was I went one by one. And once I was done, I got 4, which checks out because I also got 4 over here. So now I wanted to write a story together where we could think, what is something we would have broken up into smaller groups? So we could say, I had 48 tennis balls. Each student got to hit 12 times. How many students got to hit in all? So I had to decide. I had 48 tennis balls. Each one got to hit 12 times. So what I'm going to do is, okay, you hit once, you hit again, you hit again, you hit again. So that way we're figuring it out that way. Remember, when we come to checking our answer, we're going to do the inverse. So the opposite of division is multiplication. So if this works out, it should make sense. So I always start with my answer, 4. I'm going to multiply by my next number, because remember, we go backwards, times 12, and it should equal 48, which it does because I know over here, boom. Okay, guys, that is it for math. I hope that made sense. So basically, you were just dividing by 11s and 12s, which I love 11s because we love them. They're so simple, or they're simpler than the other ones. You are working on hard and soft C, which we've already gone over this year. Remember, connect, I cut. So just remember those sounds. They also want you to explain how the maps, charts, and labeled photographs help the reader understand your text. So you are reading about the clouds. Let's go back up from day 7. So here's your article. Remember, this is informational. And when we said we have informational, we have what's called features of text. Do you guys remember features of text? So those are the pictures. Those would be the title. They would be the subheadings. They would be the chart that gives us more information. All of the captions by the pictures. These are all features of text, and we only see those in informational writing. because they give us more information that we might not have gotten from the article. So remember we said sometimes the pictures, they show us what the article's saying. It's one thing to read it, but it's another to visually see that because it kind of brings it to life, right? Like we talk about the world and all the different places, but this map actually shows you. And the cooler thing is this is called the key. So it tells you how to read it. So when you're seeing these colors, this is what it's telling you. When you see the brown, those are the dry areas of the earth. So then you can say, okay, that's where I would find the animals that live in drier areas. We went over this pretty in depth in class, so I hope that you guys remember this. If not, that's okay. See how these pictures actually show you what this cloud looks like. It's one thing to read about it, but look, it's showing you what a nimbus cloud's. And this way you can visually see the difference between the types of clouds. So just remember those are called features of texts. And they also want you to do some writing. They want you to write about something that you have learned about weather and climate. It can be anything. Maybe it's the clouds and how it changes the climate or the weather for that day. And that's pretty much it for the packets. I wanted to go over virtual learning if that's what you chose to do. Remember, you would be on Wednesday because we are a day ahead. So they want you to read The Case of the Missing Carrot Cake. And then they also want you to read something called Learning at Home. And there is no writing for the journal today. Today you're going to play charades or Pictionary, some sort of game. It doesn't even have to be those. It can just be whatever you guys are doing. And then you can do the math clock. Which is cool because we just started working on the clock before you guys left. So that would be fun to do. And they want you to do the family time. Pick one of these activities. So this is where you can get from here and you can do really cool activities with your family that might be fun to do. Remember, we had this last week as well. So if you didn't get to some of them, now might be a fun time to try. There will be Google Classroom assignments for the reading for writing about weather and climate. Thank you so much to all the students that have done it. You guys are getting credit for that, and I just love seeing so much of your life and connecting with you guys and keeping in touch because I miss you guys so much, and I hope you're staying healthy, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for Friday. Bye, guys.